Hey everybody, David here and Eric from Team PowerHouse, the PowerCast, live with you Tuesday nights, 5 o'clock p.m. So excited to share with you an amazing guest over here today. You might recognize her from many different avenues. Could be TV, could be magazines, it could be your local restaurant. Her name is Stakaj, and we are excited to share with you that she is running for Miss Connecticut. She represents the town of Wallingford at this time, running for Miss Connecticut, and we're very excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. I want to make sure that all of you who are watching now and who know Emmy and are big fans of her, to make sure to get everybody else to know how to find her. You can watch this interview live as you're doing now on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify. You can go in the car and listen to the show later on. You have TikTok. We are all over for you, and also Apple Podcast. So please make sure to check us out. Team PowerHouse Real Estate. We can't wait to help you out, be there for you. And if you know anybody else looking to be on our podcast, we'd love to bring you in as a local business as well. Business about real estate is what we do on the regular. Bringing Emmy here tonight is a bigger and more exciting show to have. I know that my wife is watching, my son is watching, you know them. I'm sure they have lots of family watching the show tonight. And just exciting to share with everybody a little about you. So let's talk about your background. You come from a very tight family.
Yes, I do.
And let's talk about your mom and dad. What are their names?
My mom's name is Morello. My father's name is Valentin.
And with that being said, you have a couple of siblings?
I do. I have two younger sisters. One is 17. Her name is Francesca. And a 12-year-old sister. Her name is Daniela.
Important people in your life.
Very important. The most important people in my life.
But explain how you know these folks.
So I can say that I know these folks very well from the fact that they have these amazing restaurants. One of the most amazing restaurants you could ever go to, by the way. One is called Adriana's in New Haven on Grand Avenue. The other one is La Lupa restaurant in Washington Avenue and here in North Haven.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to these restaurants, definitely check them out.
And if you know Dave, you've gotten gift certificates to these restaurants.
Yeah.
So I've gotten Adriana's gift certificates for 3 straight years, and
Have
La
you used
Lupa
them
last
yet?
year. I have, yes.
I'm glad.
Yes, and I'm going Friday.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Going Friday, yes.
Amazing restaurants, amazing family business, the probably best food you could ever go to and enjoy. Honestly, not just because it's Emmy's family, but it really is that good.
Thank
and
you.
the portions.
We're actually opening another one
Tell me more.
on Long Wharf in New Haven.
Is that right? Now, I remember your dad mentioning that to me, but let's talk about that. There's a new restaurant opening up.
Soon. We're under the process of it being in construction, finalizing things, getting things done, but we're extremely excited.
And what
because
kind of
it's on the
restaurant is that
water.
going to be?
Leaning towards an Italian steakhouse.
Now, that's going to be hot.
So, right, a different vibe from what La Lupa and Adriana's are.
And you know what's great about your family business? The family is truly all involved in it. Your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt.
Did you really just ask him what the cuisine was going to be?
Well, I knew it was a steakhouse, and I just didn't want to kind of,
Okay.
figure to
I
kind of
didn't
let
know if
Emmy.
you thought maybe they were going to try sushi or something.
That would be very exciting, actually.
Italian sushi.
But knowing Valentino, he would definitely do it 100%. If he would have a sushi restaurant, I bet you the best sushi restaurant there is.
Well,
I just know his style. It's just what he does. It's how he does things. And, when I go into La Lupa and seeing the cousins and aunt and uncles in there, it's just a pride of ownership in this family business. All right, but enough about the restaurants right now. Let's talk about you, Emmy. All right, so Emmy is from what town? Where you were born and raised?
I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
No kidding. I did not see that coming.
Detroit.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. She got a little gangster in her.
Detroit gangster? No.
So, yes, I was born in Michigan. However, majority of my life I grew up in North Branford.
Nice.
And up until recently, we moved to Wallingford, Connecticut.
Beautiful town as well.
Yes, both very good towns.
And you guys live by the vineyards over there too, which is a beautiful
We
house.
do. Yes. Quiet. It's really nice.
Very quiet, very surreal. All right, so family, amazing family. I know that Danny knows you and your sister very well. I know he's watching this show right here with his buddies out in Florida in Boca. I know he's excited about you running for Miss Connecticut. I'm definitely
Bragging. I know Miss Wallingford.
I know for sure that he has definitely got his friends watching the show tonight, and they're all like, "You know her?"
You know you are,
Hi,
Danny.
Danny.
Come on.
So, your family business is a big part of your life. You grew up in the business. You've been there working since you were
12, since I was 12 years old. My parents had me working at Antonio's at the time when we owned it. At 12 years old, I was waitressing with my uncle. I worked there up until I was about 16, and then I started hostessing at Adriana's.
Yes, I remember because Danny kept saying, we have to go to Adriana's. I was like, why do you want to go to Adriana's all of a sudden? Like, you know, he liked it, but he's like, no, Dad, you don't understand, we got to go.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the broccoli Rob.
Actually, the broccoli Rob and sausage is one of his favorites.
But I'm just saying, he can always just say it's the broccoli Rob, you know.
Up until I was about 16 and a half, and then, or no, 18 and a half, I'm sorry. And then I started bartending at La Lupa, and that's where I am now.
And speaking of bartending, by the way, if you enjoy a drink, now, and I mean this, I'm not saying because Emmy's here, trust me when I say this to you, this girl can make a drink that'll blow your shorts off. I mean, like the drinks are, my wife and I love to go for some drinks, and we get excited about coming for drinks because we know that when we go there, your drinks are going to be spot on.
Thank you.
You know, and that's a major part of the restaurant business. When you go to a restaurant and you order a drink, the worst is when you order a drink and it's not great, you know?
Right.
So when you do order a drink at La Lupa, you know that the point is going to be fantastic. And there's the rest of the staff there as well.
I mean, that's what we take pride in, you know? You want to give your customers the best service possible, the best food, the best drinks, because that's what keeps them coming back.
100%.
50% food and drinks, 50% service, so.
Absolutely. All right, let's go now into you a little bit there, Emmy. Now, her name is actually Emanuela. I know her as Emmy. Is it okay to call her you Emmy in front of the rest of the world over here?
Yeah, of course.
All
I
right,
go by
so
Emmy.
she goes by Emmy. So we are a student where?
At Quinnipiac University.
And what are you studying?
Biomedical Sciences.
Oh.
I made junior at Quinnipiac.
So something really easy, of course. You know, like, you know.
Very time consuming, to say the least.
Biomedical
Sciences.
Science.
Yes.
I'm not even sure what that is. Is that okay to ask that question? That
It
just sounds like
is.
silly.
It's just more human-based versus biology. So more about vaccines, more about the human body itself, cells, genetic modification, things like that. So.
Wow. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade. I love it. Good stuff. Very educated and a great student, not to mention. Now, being somebody who's representing the town of Wallingford and going for Miss Connecticut, there's got to be a lot of things involved in the process of this. You know, like, do you have to sign a contract? Like, how does it work? Like, first of all, who got you the idea of getting to Miss Connecticut?
I've always wanted to do something along the lines of getting my name out there. This sounded like a perfect opportunity, and honestly it is a good opportunity to get my foot in the door of getting my name out there. So I was literally with my parents one night, and I said, you know what, I think I want to run for Miss Connecticut.
And Mom and Dad, what was your exact reaction? Was it Mom's reaction and Dad's reaction? Different, I bet you. Your dad's
well,
probably
they were both like, of course, you know, they support me in everything I do, and I'm so grateful for them. But
I have to imagine your dad's reaction was like, probably like, he sat there and kind of thought about it for a second, didn't react too much, smiled, and was like thinking about like, is this whatever they want for my daughter?
he was like, okay.
Okay.
So then I applied. It's like a 2-step application. The first step is where they go through your social media, you know, making sure you're a well-rounded person on social media, of course. And then the second step is a more detailed process of just information about you. If you get accepted, you start running. So I'm representing Wallingford because that's my town of residency.
Yes.
It's either that, the county you live in, or the school you go to. Now I wanted New Haven County because it's already taken.
Okay.
But
so let's go back into, you just mentioned about the process of getting into, so do they do a background check on you?
They do. They do it on your social media more, I think.
They want to make sure you're not doing anything inappropriate or something to embarrass the pageant industry, I'm guessing. To
embarrass the pageant industry, but at the same time, if you're going into this, of course, you want to be a well-rounded person in general.
Absolutely.
Well, that disqualifies you.
You know, it's funny. You're lucky that all this social media stuff came up today, because back in the day when Eric and I were younger, if there was a video camera available, I think we'd both be in big trouble. I'm just, at least for sure, Eric. I mean, growing up, literally, we didn't have that kind of stuff where there's a camera in front of your face every time you turn around. And you growing up in the last, 10 years where this has been very prevalent, it's got to be a lot. You have to think to myself, like, did anybody videotape me doing something silly or stupid that's going to come back to haunt me? And that's one of those things that anybody watching out there, you want to make sure that you have a reputation, right? Like Emmy does,
Right.
which is clean and happy and positive and nothing that has been incriminating, if you will.
Right. No, it is very important. And I mean, that's another part of my campaign. My biggest thing is bullying and cyberbullying, because technology nowadays is crazy and it's growing by the minute. But although we can use technology in super helpful ways, it can also be detrimental, especially for younger generations. I know growing up, like I said, my 12-year-old sister, for example, kids nowadays in her grade, they have phones, they have iPads, they have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all these different social media apps. Whereas at 12 years old, I was still playing with Barbie dolls.
You should, 12 years old, Barbie
right.
dolls, I'm not sure if you were...
Well, you know what I mean. Toys.
I know what you mean. So the idea is that you have a lot of people always paying attention to who you are, what you're doing, and now that you're running from Miss Connecticut, you're really in the spotlight. Right. And you're going to have the camera in front of you a lot more than you did before. And you're great on camera naturally. You know what's great about you, Emmy, though, honestly, is you're naturally like a positive person. And you don't have to get all done up to be out there in front of people. You just naturally win people over with a smile and a conversation.
Thank you.
It's really the truth about it. And when it comes down to being fake versus being real, right? So when people meet you, they get to know you. You have a lot to talk about. But let's go back to this cyberbullying thing. That's a great topic that you're kind of really big on and making sure that you're against, if you will.
Right.
As a kid growing up, I know that bullying was a big thing. If you were from a new town or it was tough, you're a new kid in town. But cyberbullying is a whole different level. Right?
It is. It definitely is, because that just gives another outlet for kids to be able to bully.
Right.
And it's so much easier when you're behind a screen and no one can see your face.
Right.
And you really have the audacity to be saying different things versus in person.
Very hurtful. Eric,
Very.
You have a...
No.
You're thinking about something right now.
No.
Yeah, but it's...
No, I agree. I agree on the whole cyberbullying, and it's just not something we've ever had to deal with.
Never had to deal
our
with it.
Our bullies were always in our face.
They were.
Right.
Yeah.
They were there in your face, giving you a hard time. And bullying back in the day was like, 3 or 4 kids versus one person, making fun of you, yelling at you, putting you down, or whatever it was, humiliating the way that it was with a group of people, as opposed to something where you had to even confront somebody about that. Back in the day, someone could, bullied you, might have thrown fists and ended that kind of bullying, if you will. Today, how do you find that person? It's all over social media.
And nowadays, it's tough, because when something's out there, it's out there, and it spreads so fast on social media.
What does that say? That the bad news always spreads faster than good news, right? Even on the news and regular TV, when we come to news, the worst things that happen in this country and the world are the first thing you hear about.
They are.
Somebody running for Miss Connecticut, which should be more important to watch on the news and be a part of your lives. So listen, if you have any questions for Miss Emmy, and I know there are a lot of them that are probably coming in and out there, do not hesitate to ask us. I'm sitting here live with Emmy, with Eric. She's always happy to answer questions. She's a great girl. And so don't hesitate to reach out. And don't text me these questions.
No proposals. No proposals.
By the way, Emmy is single.
Yes.
Is that okay to say that?
Yes.
And before you even consider it, you have to know that her parents are first line of attack when it comes to anybody talking to her or even dating her for that matter. Is that fair and reasonable? Kind of, sort of? All right, so let's go back into you running for Miss Connecticut. Do you know any other girls that are running for Miss Connecticut?
I do. I actually met a couple of them. I met one of them at a coaching lesson on how to walk in Rhode Island, which is actually ironic because she's from North Haven.
No kidding.
But really sweet girl. And then another girl that I'm also competing against, her name is Gabby. She's super sweet, and she's going to be my roommate.
Wait, so go back, the girl from North Haven, do you know her name off the top of your head?
Julia.
Cool, and the girl from what was the other person you said from?
Gabby.
Gabby's from?
Clinton.
Very cool. And you went to where? A runway walking?
Rhode Island. It was a coaching lesson.
To do coaching lessons on
how to walk and pose on stage.
No, okay, so they actually teach that kind of stuff on.
They do.
That's amazing stuff.
I mean, it's important because you want to have good posture and present yourself well.
That's right. Now, the coaches, when they're are they hard on you? Are they, is it very casual? Is it like strict?
Both. I mean, constructive criticism is always good because it really pushes you to do your best.
Absolutely.
But of course, they're not, harping on you.
Did you find when you were there that the girls who were there already had some kind of experience or some kind of a coaching prior to?
Yes, some of them did. Some of them have been actually doing it for a long time. And I think that that's probably the one thing that makes me nervous going into it, because it's my first time doing anything like this.
So what were they doing before this that they were getting experience in coaching, if you will?
Pageants, just doing pageants all their life, as well as getting the experience with coaching.
So what kind of pageants did they run for? I'm not familiar with the pageant life. So what could they have done, like pageant for, like?
They do it by age bracket.
Oh.
So different age brackets when they were younger, just winning different titles.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So
I think they also have like Miss Junior Connecticut or stuff like that. So,
they do. So they have Miss Teen Connecticut.
Teen Connecticut, yeah.
For my age bracket, it's 20 to 28 years old.
Oh, Eric, I'm impressed you know this stuff. I didn't have any idea about this at all. So they have
I read magazines.
So they have Miss Connecticut. I'm sorry, Miss Teen
Connecticut.
The Teen Connecticut. Is there a thing before teen? Is there like a what's before teen? I have no idea. I mean, okay, I just what the levels are. So
toddlers and tiaras, for example.
I saw that on TV one time. I thought that was really cute. Down in the South, it's big.
Right.
You know, these little like baby
kids
or these girls
doing pageants.
Yeah, but that's really happens here too.
Yeah.
No kidding. Maybe I should get Drew involved in that kind of stuff. What do you think?
That would be so cute. Yeah. She's such a.
I'm not sure that she's a very lady. She's ladylike when she wants to be, but she's bruta. You know what bruta is like? She's sweet and she's tough. You know what I mean? And
it's a good thing. She needs a tough character.
That attitude, that like smiley face, and then she gets that face. She's like, you know? All right. So, what types of activities do you participate in going to run for Miss Connecticut? Now, you mentioned that they have the
prior or in the pageant itself. Both. Okay.
Yes.
So, prior, like I said, for my campaign, my thing is bullying.
Yes.
I actually just recently got into contact with North Branford School Systems because it's where I graduated from.
Okay.
Great town, great school system, great people.
Absolutely.
So, for the elementary school, I wanted to read The Giving Tree.
Oh, wow.
And talk to them about the theme of the book and how it's important for kids to stay true to themselves and be kind to others and always be mindful of what they're doing, what they're saying, being empathetic.
I like that a lot. That's very like down to earth and warm and like, you know.
Right. And real. I think it's important because like I said, nowadays social media is probably the biggest thing out there. And kids sometimes forget that it's important to stay true to themselves and make sure that what they're doing face to face is
it's very important how people interact with other people, right. and what they actually, you know, sometimes kids, they tease each other, right? Like teasing's okay a little bit, but there's a point of teasing and over the board where people just like take it to another level.
Right.
And
being mindful of one another, you know, because everybody is unique in their own way. Nobody's going to be the same person as you, and everyone comes from different backgrounds. And I just think it's very important to be supportive of one another at the end of the day.
You know, one of the things that we grew up in my family was we're a very affectionate family. Like your family, very affectionate.
Right.
And I hug everybody that I come in contact with as a natural thing. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, I think that, you know, kids who grew up with more of that element in their lives, that warmth, that hug, that, you know, I think it's a good thing for kids to start getting back into and people. I know this whole COVID thing, people have been so standoffish and,
right.
you know, distant and masks and everything. I think this has to end. I think people have to get back to reality and back to health and back to, you know, being a part of each other's lives. And a hug goes a long way and makes you feel better, you know?
It does. And then at the same time, with that being said, that's also something that I'm looking forward to, being able to be the role model for these kids and someone that they can look up to. And if they don't have that support system at home, for example, I'm willing to be there, you know, because growing up, your childhood has so much to do with who you are as a person down the road. And
absolutely.
If I can be that person for somebody, then it's like one of the biggest rewards, of course.
That's so cool. You know, Big Sister, Big Brother, that whole, that's
that show.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so in going through the process, they have the runway stuff. What else do they do to prepare you?
You have an interview with the judges.
Oh, how many judges?
You find out the day of, like 5 or 6 sometimes. It depends. It's not always the same number. But so you have an interview. This is the day
of the actual pageant you're talking about.
The pageant is 3 days. So it's April 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Can we come?
You can. You can buy tickets at the door.
Really?
Where is the pageant held?
Hartford Hotel near the Windsor Airport.
I think that'd be a great thing for well, first of all, we can go back into the sponsorship, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about some sponsors that you have that are kind of a part of your...
Well, I would
that
love
was
to
so
shout out.
subtle, Dave.
I would love to shout out Team PowerHouse, of course. Thank you so much for sponsoring me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
We're very
I really
excited
do.
to sponsor Miss Emmy here for running for Miss Connecticut. And if you or somebody you know might be interested in sponsoring Emmy to run for Miss Connecticut,
you could definitely reach out to me.
Let's definitely put her in touch. Now, how would be the best way for people to get in touch with you? And Jonathan loves when I give information out last minute so he can type things on the screen. He loves it. So what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Honestly, the most common social media platform that I use is Instagram. So my @ is Emmy Stakaj, EMYSTAKAJ. Just shoot me a DM and I'll get back to you.
So that would be a great way for somebody who wants to sponsor you.
They can reach out to me and then I'll give out my personal information.
Perfect. I love
Email
that.
or phone number.
And what does it mean to sponsor you? That helps to get you with things that are involved in...
So the sponsorship money goes towards my gown, my hair, my makeup, my other outfits, interview outfits, the pageant itself, because that also costs.
Absolutely. Will you have some kind of a banner or some kind of shirt or some kind of... Maybe there's something going on. Maybe we can make some shirts for you or something. We can do something kind of fun.
I actually had family members that were mentioning wanting to make shirts with Team Emmy on it.
Emmy, absolutely, with your sponsors in the back or the front or something like that. Absolutely. Okay, whoever the family members are, let's get talking together.
Shout out to Linda.
Shout out to
my mom.
Linda. Let's do that. All right. And so we got sponsorship.
Yes, so I have you guys. Of course, like I said, thank you again. I have Royal Aesthetics, which is one of my dear friends. She has her own company. She does Botox and injections.
Oh, wow.
Things along those lines.
Maybe we can bring them on the show, actually.
Yes, of course.
Okay, keep going.
Totally. Conversation for later. Then we have Brows by Cassandra, the girl who does my eyebrows.
Oh, nice. And where's she from?
North Haven.
Okay, Brows by Cassandra.
She does an amazing job.
Nice. Well, your brows look fantastic.
Thank you. Then we have La Lupa, of course, Adriana's.
Absolutely.
La
I hope that the La Lupa and Adriana's will really sponsor me heavily. And if you need help with that,
talk to the boss for that one.
They will guilt them into more money, believe me.
Who else?
I have Arnold's Jewelers.
Oh, wow. Arnold's Jewelers. Very nice.
And then I have another friend, H&K Mechanical.
Oh, HVAC. Heating and cooling, probably. Yeah. Mechanical, yes.
Plumbing.
Yes. Excellent.
I have Kiki in Milford.
What's Kiki?
It's a restaurant. It's my family members.
No kidding. And that's located where?
Milford, Connecticut.
Okay, yes.
And then La Fortuna in Stratford.
I have been to La Fortuna. Very nice restaurant, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I think I find like myself going to your family businesses because it's just a consistent experience every time you go.
Thank you.
There's like that same like a dynamic. The food is good. The family is good. The atmosphere is good. I mean, it's just one of those things where you're going to have a good experience. All right, I keep talking about your family and food. I'm getting hungry over here. So we got some great sponsorships for you.
Yes,
right?
Again, thank you to everybody who sponsored me. I truly appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
So tell us a little more about like the experience so far you've been through in running for Miss Connecticut. What kind of people are involved in the judging or the people who are involved? I mean, I don't know much about this stuff, so can you share a little bit about that?
Like I said, so it's very new to me. So going into this, more than anything, I'm going into it as an experience because, of course, I'm going to go in holding my head high. But at the end of the day, there is one winner.
One winner.
And a lot of these girls have been doing it for a long time.
You know, I would say to you that those people are still as nervous as you are.
Right.
And just because someone's done something before, like, you know, in real estate, we sell a lot of property, right? When we're out there every day, we're also building relationships with people, helping them buy houses, helping them sell houses, and it's always like a brand new experience with each person.
It is.
So I can say to you that if you continue to always have that held high head, smile on your face, and positive attitude, you're going to win people over based on who they meet. You know, and when they talk to you, they can talk to you like a regular person. You're not like, if you were famous right now, okay, and you were on TV, you would be no different. I know that. Because that's the kind of person you are.
Right.
And that's what makes you so special.
I do take pride in staying true to myself. I've been through a lot in my life with different people and obstacles and challenges, but I think that if there's anything I can take out of it up to this point, it's that staying true to yourself is really big. And I think it gets you very far because at the end of the day, you have you and your immediate family.
Absolutely. Listen, everybody, this is one of the nicest people you can ever meet, and I'm sure you know people out there who are as sweet as Emmy is, and maybe you know somebody running for Miss Connecticut, or maybe you don't. But I'm going to say this to you very sincerely. I know Emmy for quite a while now, and it just happened to be ironic that I know her for a while and have her on the show, and I said, you got to come on the show. Let's get everybody to know you a little bit as a person. Let's get everybody to fall in love with Emmy, and let's support her in her running for Miss Connecticut. If you would like to be a part of this, please reach out to her. And let's make sure to support her at the event on April
9th and 8th for me, 9th and 10th for anybody who wants to come.
And just one more thing. At the show, at the event, I'm going to call it a show, what will they be seeing over there?
The pageant itself.
Yeah, what are the events you are involved in?
So there's swimsuit.
Oh, wow.
And then there's evening gown.
No kidding. That's exciting.
And then at the same time, the teens run. So while we're off stage, the teens are on stage.
And I'm sure they're equally as nervous and watching you get up there and see how you do.
Of course.
Do you know what kind of questions they're going to ask you when you're on stage? Or you have no idea?
So you don't have any questions on stage unless you make it to top 5.
Oh, wow.
If you make it to top 5, then they honestly can ask you anything. You just have to be ready to answer.
I would be nervous for those questions.
Do you rehearse on that or no?
You can.
Like, do you know what some of the topics are and you go, okay, I need to bone up on my
current events around the world,
stuff like that. Okay,
things like that.
I wonder if the current event questions or the things they're asking you are very do they want to know really how you feel or what the right answer is? Right, those are the
a little bit of both. I mean, a lot of
generic answer when people give that. Oh, I want to save the world. Oh, I want to. It's okay. Now, really, give me you and give me what it's about, and non-generic answers. How much knowledge do you have in the categories too?
Right.
And you can tell when someone gets up there and they're like, oh, I love fish and I love flowers and versus, hey, this is the situation here. I'm backing this kind of group over here, and I'm sure they're going to talk about the war. I'm sure they're going to talk about child what's it called with the help me out over here.
Trafficking.
No, trafficking. No, the bullying. Bullying for kids. I'm sorry.
Trafficking is a problem too.
Trafficking is definitely a problem, but we're not.
We have a lot of problems, but
we have a lot.
We do.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I was going with the whole abuse of kids and social media. That's going to definitely be a topic they're going to ask you because it's your kind of platform. Yes, but there's probably going to be some other questions that I bet you if you watch past pageants.
Yes, of course. They have pools of different questions. There are different, the walking lessons, for example, the posing questions. You can also take a course on different questions that they might ask you in an interview, and they pull it from a bunch of different pageants that they've done in the past. Do they, for every class or a thing you have to go to learn, does it cost you money or is it part of? Yes.
Oh, no kidding, really?
Yeah, you pay for it.
and what kind of, I'm just curious, what kind of a cost is it to go and do the walking, the
so
runway
that,
stuff?
For me, was $600.
Holy moly.
It gets expensive.
Eric, by the way, can probably teach you to walk. He's got a special kind of walk. He could definitely.
Can you pose?
I have no idea what he's talking about. So no clue what he's talking about.
He definitely has a pose and he definitely has a walk. I guarantee with Eric on a runway, he would definitely, do a.
Maybe an airport runway. I've been on an airport runway, but never a modeling runway.
I think that would be. Maybe we should do a little runway. Eric, did you have a little runway experience over here? Maybe no.
It's never too late to learn.
Maybe building a runway, but that's it.
All right.
He can be in the swimsuit portion of it.
Eric would definitely jump.
No one wants to see that.
So, listen, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here today with Emmy Stakaj.
Emmy Stakaj.
She is an amazing girl. She's how old?
20 years old.
20 years old. Very mature 20-year-old, by the way. As beautiful as she is, as sweet as she is, as smart as she is. And there's a very well-rounded person in front of you that you're going to want to get to meet and know her personally. And please support her. Please give her as much social media presence. Share this interview with other people you know. Let everybody know who Emmy is. Running for Miss Connecticut on April 8th.
9th and 10th.
Sorry, April 8th, 9th, and 10th?
Yes.
So you're going to be there on the 8th doing your thing.
On the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. Once I get there, I'm locked in.
You're locked in. And then on the 10th, you find out who the winner is?
So if you make it, the 9th is the first round. If you make it, they cut it to 12 girls. Then you compete again. And if you make top 12. They cut it down to top 5.
What are you, MMA fighting at the end?
It's a lot. It really is. But like I said, I'm excited more than anything. It's an experience, and my parents have been supportive from the get-go.
As they always are. As they always are. I mean, your parents are solid.
They're my heart and soul.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get emotional.
Right. Listen, you know what though? When it comes to love, it's real. You can't help but get emotional.
Right.
It's something that is like just, it's so tight, and your family is very supportive. I mean,
they're so supportive, and I'm so thankful and so grateful for them because.
And your sisters.
Of course, both my sisters. I love my sisters to death.
They love you.
But
they
I've
look up
seen
to you.
my parents. They're younger. They're both.
Younger?
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So that's also another thing I take pride in, being a role model, because
100%.
I want to be the best version of myself and make my parents proud. I've seen them grow and come from nothing, literally come from nothing.
Is that your only siblings?
Yes, 2 younger sisters, and build the empire that they've built today and the name that they've built. And I take so much pride in holding that title, you know, who my parents are, who my father is, who my mother is, and who we are as a family and the type of people that we are. So
Amen.
It's such a good experience, and it feels so good to be able to make my parents proud more than anything.
I want to say, I mean, how often do you hear about a young daughter?
I'm going to get so emotional.
How often is it? Listen to this girl. She doesn't have to talk about her parents, but she has, like, it's a natural thing. She just talks about her love for her family. If that's not somebody you want to support and be behind, I mean, that's everything.
No, my parents are my reason for everything. Everything that I've accomplished.
You're going to get me emotional over here. All right, everybody, listen, I want to thank you so much for watching us here today. This is an amazing interview with a future, hopefully, Miss Connecticut.
I hope so.
All right. In addition to that, it's somebody that you want to get to know on a personal level. She's sweet, she's sugar, she's smart, and she's a great representation of what a daughter is to a family. I'm going to get emotional.
Stop! I'm gonna start crying.
Sorry. What a daughter is to a parent, what a son is to a parent, what a child is to a parent. It's so important to have that kind of values. Sorry, kid.
I'm literally crying, David.
You know, jammed up over here.
Well,
I can only imagine my mom crying right now.
I know. I can't help it. It's because you know what it is. As a parent, you can't help it. When your kids are your pride and joy, and it's when it comes to the love and how much your respect for your parents.
I have so much respect for my parents.
And the way you talk, I hope my son will talk about me like that one day. I mean, honestly, like, no, I'm very close to my son. My wife and I are very close to Danny, as you know. But it just, it jams you up because you can't help it. It's something you just feel naturally.
It does come naturally to me because, like I said, I've seen them come from the ground up, and it means so much to me, all the sacrifice and the hard work that they've done and that they continue to do for my sisters and I to ensure a successful future and to make sure that we're beautiful on the inside before anything on the outside, you know? I've seen my parents do so much for other people. And no, seriously, it's the truth because...
We're going to have tissues on the show from now on. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Believe what you... Oh my gosh. All right, Emmy, listen. Now you're making me look bad on camera.
No.
Listen, he cries at closing sometimes too.
I definitely I cry commercials.
No, shout out to my parents. I love you both so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here today on the show that gets a little deeper every time. We love you guys. We appreciate you. It's Tuesday nights, 5 o'clock. Watch us all over social media. Please share our shows with your friends and family. Please go to YouTube and Team PowerHouse Real Estate. Hit subscribe. Watch our shows every week. Go to Spotify. Listen to us on the shows on the road. We have a TikTok channel. Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok, David.
We have Emmy on TikTok.
I am on TikTok.
Can we mention your TikTok?
I think it's Emmy Stakaj.
Emma, what's that? EMYSTAKAJ. All right.
That's also my Instagram.
Awesome. So make sure you get Emmy, follow her on social media. Please share this show on all of social media platforms with her.
I'm going to post it.
And we look forward to seeing and speaking with you every week. Eric and I love doing this every week. And I just want to touch about it for one quick second.
Sure.
The market is insane. If you're looking to sell.
Tell them how insane.
How insane.
It's insane. Dave's conducting the interview, and I'm writing an offer. Kid you not, I just sent it out for signature.
That's awesome.
Yes.
The market is so insane.
Jonathan's going.
All right, so
it picks up the clicks, you know.
So the market is crazy and wild. If you have a house to sell, our team would love to work for you. I know you have a realtor out there. Make sure to research your realtors. Make sure if you want to sell your house, go and find out what kind of photos and videos they're putting out there. Because I'm going to tell you something, Eric. As you may know, it's insane how awful some agents are proposing, showing, advertising their houses for sale with these horrible photos. And you know what? Your reputation is everything in this business. Your relationship with your clients, how much you put out for your clients. Just because the market is a hot market doesn't mean you should go and have crappy photos of your house. Make sure you want the best.
Good point. I would imagine that some of the houses that have been out there for more than 3-4 days have some really bad pictures.
100%.
I wouldn't doubt that that's some of the correlating information.
I was out this weekend and we went to look at some houses and I said, let's just go look at the houses anyway. And some of the houses weren't so bad, but the photos just awful. Yeah. You should have 40 photos of your house. I don't care if it's a 2-bedroom or a 12-bedroom. There should be 40 photos of your house. And guess what else? Make sure your realtor is available to get a hold of by us agents. Because if we can't get a hold of them, guess what? You're not getting the service you deserve, and your house isn't going to sell as fast or get as much money as it deserves to get. Make sure to do your research. Go on Yelp, go on Google, research your agents. Our team would love to work for you. But if you don't want to work with our team and you have an agent in mind, just make sure to research them. All right? We love you. We care about you. We think about you all the time. Thank you so much for joining us on our show today. We're going to go ahead and give out a free tumbler. Eric, want to mention one more thing? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't know.
Can I say thank you?
Oh, Emmy, please.
I just want to say thank you, of course, to David and Team PowerHouse for having me. I really love doing, and Eric, we can't forget about Eric. I love doing this. I of course hope to be back and talk about other things in the future. But
absolutely,
I want to shout again my parents out, my sisters, my aunt, my uncle, friends and family, for supporting me through this journey, and for just always being there for me. I really enjoyed this experience. So
lock it in now. When she comes back on.
Hey, that's 100%.
Manifest it while we can.
Absolutely. We're going to make it happen.
I said when, not if.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When.
Absolutely. So we're going to give out a free tumbler again, as we do every week, to a lucky winner. You are on the wheel if you want to be involved in a free tumbler by Heather Knott Creative Crafts.
Okay. I was going to say, maybe we can get a silver Sharpie and it can get it autographed by Miss Connecticut.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
How cool is that?
That'd be very cool.
I gotta start practicing my signature, guys.
Absolutely. Jonathan, who do we have up for the wheel today? Let's see who's going to be the lucky winner. And he's going to spin this wheel around randomly, and everybody I get a hard time.
Making a clicking noise in case you can't hear.
I get so much hard time.
It's a really nice cup.
I turned down the clicking noise. Allison Beal.
Allison Beal. She's actually a realtor, if I know correctly. She's a realtor and or could be mortgages. I think she's a realtor. Congratulations, Allison Beal. If you're watching the show, you are the lucky winner of a tumbler from Team PowerHouse.
She has to be watching the show.
Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers to you all very much. Have a great night, and thank you so much for watching.
And wish me luck on this offer.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Have a good night.